Okay guys, I'm here today with Ffion Davis, huge honor for me and Ty. And guys, Ffion just shot an entire instruction this week here with us, all about close guard. And today she's gonna show us here one of her favorite moves, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Let's do it. Go.
Okay, cool. So we look at the close guard position and just a few of my favorite attacks. Like a lot of the instructional has got like the overhook position, and so I like to do a lot of different things from there. One of my favorite things is, you've probably seen this match, but Marcelo Garcia versus Tani Musumeci. So it's like that sort of twisted armbar from that position that I really like playing with after seeing that match. So we're going to start off in the close guard. We've got the overhook position here where I spun my hands to the inside and I'm wrapping through nice and tight here. So I was saying a lot in the instructional about making sure we have the head controlled here, and if they were to posture up heavy, and I'm going to go with him instead. So I often find that even though I'm gripping behind the head here, that when they're particularly bigger than me or they're stronger, they can still posture up despite having this head control. But something that I like to do to break the posture is to release the close guard and then do a big bridge backwards as I arch back myself. So I post my feet here, bridge, and I can usually drag my partner back down heavy here. So it just adds a bit of momentum to drag them back down to the mat.
Okay.
So once I'm here, I'm going to start to step on the hip. So I'm going to step here and start to offset my angle, kind of like I'm going for an omoplata, just to get my leg folded and keep that posture broken even further.
Okay.
And then once I'm in this position, obviously I can release this part of the head, and I'm going to start to arch back up onto my elbow. I find that I like to throw my leg over here, but if you're not very flexible, which I don't like to do things that are like reliant on mobility or flexibility or anything like that. So I'm going to arch myself back and up onto my elbow, and that's going to give me the space to retract my leg and bring it over top. Okay. So I was finding a lot that when I was rolling with people, so when I was here, and I would be going for my omoplata options, trying to bring this leg over, but as soon as I started to bring the foot over across the head here, they could usually sit up heavy still, even though I'd have that position, and I would start to slip off the arm. So when I saw that match, I found that when I started to bring this leg over the head instead, it was like an extra way of keeping his posture broken. So if he tried to sit up, I could extend heavy over his head, and it made it really hard for them to posture up. So I was like beating that issue of people sitting up high here. So after I brought this leg over, I'm going to loop the foot through this gap and start to extend heavy.
That's beautiful.
And it's really nice to do, especially when people have a not very good mobility in the shoulder. I like to loop it through and then extend my leg straight so I can reach up and start to catch onto the arm.
That is amazing.
Once I have this grip, I can walk it up, start to attack that arm. And then we're also looking at an option where they rolled through the attack too.
No, and I love the fact that when you're doing this move, it sounds like you can go to the triangle if you want to. But instead of going to the triangle, you really want to find that aha moment that everybody's watching, because this is such like a beautiful move. So what's your mindset like? Why don't you go to the triangle and decide to go to this? It's just like to
be honest, I do like the triangle option. We were looking at that as well earlier, like a few in the DVDs that was like going through other options that you can do. But I have quite short legs. So although when I do get the triangle locked, a lot of people will drop their shoulder really heavy, and I end up having to transition to like that omoplata position anyway. So then I'll end up throwing that leg over, and it's just having like a series of submissions I can go through, sort of chain together, so that if I'm maybe going for the triangle that's failing, then I can throw that leg over and switch my options. So depending on what reaction they give me, if I'm finding they are like really trying to sit tall, and when I'm linked on their arm, if they stand tall like this, I'm going to start to slip down, and it's fairly easy to pick me up most of the time, especially with my training partners. So I liked having that leg over the back of the head, and then that option is there.
Good. No, and I love the fact that Jiu-Jitsu is becoming more professional, and all these super fight events, that's what they want to see, you know. They want to see this like flash submission that nobody can do and this and that. So this is really, really cool. And Phil, I noticed that you were really big at not letting the opponent create the posture, right? So you're really big at finding ways to break the posture, right? So would you say that on close guard, especially for no-gi, this is one of the most important things? I
think so, because we have so much less options. So like when I have someone nice and close to me in the gi, obviously we've got options there, but when they're set upright like this, you have a ton of options too, because you have the grips, you have the collars to break the posture. But in no-gi, we're far more restricted in terms of what we can actually do when they're in the sort of middle range. So I really like to make sure they're down and close to me,
And especially in no-gi, I think people can stand up more and use their athleticism. So I think the closer we are to the ground, the less the athleticism matters. So that's kind of like my strategy behind it. I've noticed even when I used to do judo, it's like I can have more training partners who are bigger than me in jiu-jitsu versus in judo where that athleticism and size matters a lot more. So the idea is basically the closer I can get them to the ground, the easier it should be to control them. So minimize that difference.
I'm gonna ask you to show the move one more time, but this thing you did in the very beginning to break the posture, I had never seen that before. So you kind of invented that, or?
I don't think I invented. I don't know.
I think you did.
Probably other people have done it before, but like I did just start doing it because I was getting so annoyed. People would say, I was like,
got it. Oh, that's awesome. But anyways, one more time.
Okay, so
Bernardo loves seeing me get.
I don't know, anything that tortures or twists tie, it's always my favorite move.
Thank you, Bernardo.
So,
Huge one.
so we'll make here, this, we're going to go, if you pick me up here, so look, I can link on from this position and I base and do like an arch. I just find it's not just my body weight going back, I can do that bridging power to help dragging back too. And although some people can fight against it, it's really tiring to fight against. So when I release, it's not much energy for me, but it's a lot of energy for him to stay pressured up against this, and then I can close that distance again then. So then once I'm here, I sort of offset my angle, and like you said, we have all those options here to hit the triangle, okay, but maybe they're folding this down because they're aware of the danger there. So I have my omoplata options too, where look, I could literally fold here if you didn't want to go for something a bit more flashy. But you could even just use this and this loop here. If you didn't want to go for the armbar, sometimes I'd use this loop, or even if they step up this back leg, you can just use it here just to keep their posture broken, and you have attacks on the far side here, or you can reach and be a bit more cool, and you have options here, or even just use this posture break, get you to go back to something you're more familiar with and maybe fits into your game better, like an omoplata that's maybe more reliable and less reliant on attacking like a flashy submission here. So it's more so that control of having the leg over the head that I really like, just to really make sure that they can't sit up. And especially no-gi where it gets slippy, I just start to slide off all the attacks and I'm stuck.
Got it. No, that's awesome. So guys, Ffion just shot an entire structure of this this week, all about the close guard for no-gi. So it's going to be at bjjfanatics.com. Make sure to check it out. Maybe by the time you're watching this video, the course is already there. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and thanks so much, Ffion.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you, Ty. Please help me out to grow my YouTube channel. Just click subscribe. And to watch more videos, just click under see more videos. I hope you enjoyed.
BJJFanatics.com. Use the promo code YouTube Faria to get 10% off any instructional video. Improve your jiu-jitsu faster.